Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max and Juan cast. Max, how you doing today, my brother?
Doing good one. How about you? I see the jersey. I know what division we're talking.
Ray Lewis, my boy.
Shit's a swap meet jersey, but it's cool. It's
A little
cool.
bit, a little bit, a little bit.
No, that shit looks good.
AliExpress, if you know, you know. But
Wait, is that your OG Ray Lewis jersey you've
oh
had for
yeah,
like years?
oh yeah, bro. I've had this for
I
fucking
I, I can't believe it's
years.
Nike. I would have thought like it's Reebok.
I think I got it the
Is the
year that they switched to Nike.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
was gonna say because the Peyton Manning one you have is Reebok, right?
yeah, that one's
Yeah.
old. I think, yeah, it is Reebok. That one's old, bro. That's just like probably like a crop top right now on me, bro. That shit is so
That's all
fucking
right. That's
old.
hot. That's hot. College
uh,
type shit.
but yeah, man, representing the Ravens today. It's still Raiders all day, but I gotta represent my boy Ray Lewis. If I had to pick a player that wasn't a Raider, that's my favorite of all time. It's Ray Lewis. It's not even close. Love my boy Ray Lewis, bro. Still kind of hate the Ravens a little bit just because they're good every year and they kind of kick our ass a lot of the time. But that's besides the point. Today we're doing AFC North. Okay. Welcome to the NFL preview show, where we do all 32 teams, all 8 divisions, and the month of August. Okay, so all of August, we're going to be dropping these, talking about every single team, predictions, thoughts, going over some of their ads, their losses, and coming up with an over under number and seeing if we're going to go over or under. So uh, make sure to like the video, comment down below any thoughts, opinions that you guys have, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Okay. Let's get into it. You know how we do it. We go first to worst as far as last year's standings go in the division. So that means we're going to the AFC North champions, the Baltimore Ravens. Okay? Bringing back John Harbaugh for his like fucking 15th year, I believe.
Yeah, I would say it's about that. Maybe 20. I'll look it up. I'm curious now you say it, but yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, he's been there for a minute. Todd Munkin coming back. He's offensive coordinator, and DC Zachary Orr, new defensive coordinator that they're bringing in. 2023 record was 13-4. Obviously, they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship. So their 2024 over under is 10.5 wins. Max, did you get that number?
15 years.
Hit it right
That's
on the mark,
crazy.
baby. Let's get it. All right. Let's go over some of their additions that they had. Nate Wiggins, rookie cornerback out of Clemson, one of our favorites, one of our top prospects when it comes to cornerbacks. And our favorite, Smoke Henry, bro. Derrick Henry is a Baltimore Raven coming over from the Tennessee Titans. Very exciting to see that. And some of the losses on the other side, good amount of people, man. Patrick Queen, linebacker, he is leaving. Odell Beckham Jr., he's also leaving. Jadeveon Clowney and Gus Edwards, who went to Jim Harbaugh to go score more touchdowns from the 1 yard line for
Than anyone else.
for the LA Chargers. Max, what do you think about the Baltimore Ravens?
It's not about making the playoffs. It's about getting over the hump. The hump right now is the Chiefs. I truly believe the Ravens had a better team last year than the Chiefs, but Lamar was outdueled by Patrick Mahomes and Zay Flowers dropping the ball, fumbling, talking shit, backing up 15 yards.
No.
Shit like that costs you in an AFC Championship game one. And there's a lot to be excited for. Keaton Mitchell's coming back. Derrick Henry, I think, is going to have a big year. I think it's going to be a lot easier for him this year than it was last year when, hey, we can't throw the ball. Let's just stack the box 10 guys and let's run in there and have some fun and let's just see what you can get. Just run it up in there, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, the loss of Odell is going to be a little like a middling loss. I don't think he's going to change anything for them. Do you? He's not.
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that at all. Look, with all that being said, I do think they got over a little mini hump last year. You know, Lamar has, been a shell of himself Yeah, the health stuff, and he never won a playoff game, I believe, right? They never won a playoff game. So he had one playoff game. So he had one playoff game. Yeah, and he didn't really have all that good of a resume in the playoffs. He made it to the AFC Championship. Unfortunately, he lost, but I do think that was a step in the right direction. And this is one of the few Super Bowl teams. I feel like they're a Super Bowl contender. They have just enough talent. They got a couple of leapers ready to get even better, as I like to look at. For instance, Zay Flowers. Who else? The running back that they had who got
Keaton
hurt,
Mitchell. Yeah,
Keenan
Keaton
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Yeah. Hopefully he comes back healthy. And then on the defensive end, I mean, bro, Roquan Smith, you can argue was the best linebacker in football last year in some people's eyes. So
Kyle Hamilton exploded onto the
yes,
scene. I mean, we knew he'd be good. We were just always like, hey, maybe not top 5. And then he goes to Baltimore at 14. You're like, they just got an all pro. There's no way this guy's going to be bad. Look, the biggest loss we haven't talked about it might be Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald, excuse me, the
yeah,
DC head coach of Seattle now. Bro, Zachary Orr, anyone who doesn't know the name or sounds familiar, he was a linebacker.
yeah,
I thought he just retired, but I forgot he got medically retired like 2 years into his career, and he was really good. And now as a first-time DC, look, I think they'll take a little step back, but I don't think their defense is going to fall off a cliff. Do you?
no,
Baltimore doesn't operate like that. Baltimore doesn't hire idiots like Brian Johnson.
Brandon Staley.
Yeah, Brandon Staley. Sorry, too soon. But no, I think this team has ceiling and is kind of expectation is a Super Bowl. Anything below. And hey, shout out to one of the Ravens who won the Super Bowl, Jacoby Jones, passed away recently. Kind of shocking, only 40.
No,
Shit, life's too short. But hey, I like what I've seen from the Ravens. I'm not discouraged they lost to the Chiefs. I was a little disappointed. But going into the year, I feel like it's them or the Chiefs, really. I'm going
yeah.
over. Easy. It's an easy over for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over. I love what I seen from Lamar Jackson. I think he took his game to another level last year. Uh, as far as what happened in that playoff game, what do you think was the biggest thing? Was it coaching? Was it players? Because the fact that they were the best
I think
running
they were a
team.
little tight. They were a little tight. They got away from the run because the Chiefs stopped it early.
Mhm.
And then they just kind of abandoned their game plan. I don't know. I know it's not John Harbaugh because I would think he's been there. He's won a Super Bowl. I think it was kind of some nerves from a first time team in that position. Like it's not the Chiefs. Chiefs have been there every year, the last 4 years. But
I
Lamar had never
just,
been in the championship game. That's the biggest game of his life.
yeah, and I hope with that experience, Max brings him to another level as far as like being the guy to say something. It's hard to gauge it as far as how much you want in your quarterback to have, as far as like, you know what? That's not the call, coach. I'm not going with that. We're the fucking number one team when it comes to running the ball. We're gonna run the ball. Okay? That's what we gotta do. And I'm gonna make this change at the line. I'm gonna check to a run. That comes from an even special player than Lamar Jackson as far as mentally. And hopefully, with this experience, it brings them to that next level as far as being a leader and being like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Let me change the fucking play. What do you feel about that?
I would agree, Juan. I think he needs to be a little bit more vocal. I mean, Jalen Hurts is the same type of guy who it's kind of like, I want to see some vocalness. I want to see some MF, some Brady, some Stafford, some Rodgers on the sideline. But I don't want to force them into being something they're not. I don't think that's going to be the thing that pushes this team over the edge. I think they just kind of have to have a little luck. As you know, sometimes it's about luck. Hey, the first time when they won the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco, they got lucky.
Yes.
They caught an 80-yard touchdown because the corner was stupid
Yeah.
on the Broncos. That's it. So that being said, they're still the cream of the crop in terms of organization and as a team. So I have big hopes for them. Can't wait to see Lamar another year removed from an MVP year. Does he have more MVPs than Mahomes, or he has the same?
I think he
They both have
has.
two,
I think they both
right?
had two. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, he just doesn't get talked about in that same class. But Lamar is, what a home run pick by the Ravens.
Yeah.
32nd pick in the draft. Just
And they
wow.
they got another steal this year with Nate Wiggins. I'm excited for Nate Wiggins. What are some of your expectations for him as a corner?
They needed him badly. Marlon Humphrey's good. He's no longer great. This guy could be an instant impact player, kind of like a Marshawn Lattimore rookie type year, in my opinion. Really liked him and Quinion coming out. He is so freaking fast and he's so freaking tall for how, like, he's 6'1", not super tall, but tall for a corner. Anything above 6 feet tall. I like it. I think he can have a big impact. I know they're losing some guys like Geno Stone,
Yeah.
but dude, they still have Arthur Mollett, who's just such a good fucking Raven. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Gem.
Yeah. Look, my expectations for Nate Wiggins, I wouldn't be surprised if he struggles just because the character matches and all that, like as far as who Nate Wiggins is as a player, as far as what I've seen, but they really don't pick like physical, not physical, speedy guys like that because I do feel like he's another level of speed, but he's raw when it comes to technical stuff. Like kind of like how Marlon Humphrey was. He's the complete opposite. Marlon Humphrey was technical, he was physical. Nate Wiggins, he's more of the, back off coverage. He's not really pressy all that much, and he uses his speed. He has great breaking speed on the ball. So I'm interested to see how that works out. I'm pretty sure Baltimore, like you said, great organization. They'll figure it out. They figured out Kyle Hamilton pretty quick.
They're never going to get a pick wrong, it seems like.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. What's the last bust?
Rashawn Bateman. But he's not even a bust. He's just not great.
Yeah. And he's still solid.
Courtney Upshaw? Courtney Upshaw?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Courtney has some plays in there, dog. Low key.
Oh, they had Lamar. Let me tell you, I'm now you got me curious.
Yeah.
I love Zay Flowers,
hit
Kyle Hamilton,
hit
Linderbaum,
hit
Odafe away.
Hit.
I wouldn't. Okay, so that one's like that's
okay.
Bad
Define a hit.
They have
define
that's
a hit.
Bad as, hold on. That's as bad a miss they have, and he's still a good player.
Yeah,
still a good player. Marquise Brown, Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst would have to be the worst one the last 7 years. And he's average. He's good. He's fine. He's an average player. They haven't drafted okay. Brashad Perriman.
Okay, there it is. That's been
a
while.
What was that? Boy.
What was that? Like 6 years ago? 5 years ago?
Almost 10? 2015?
10? Oh my God. I'm so old.
Brashad.
I thought that was fucking sooner.
That was your Madden God.
Yeah, I love myself some Brashad Perriman. So the Ravens just don't draft busts that often, bro.
That guy's been in the league for like 10 years, though. So how bad was he?
Exactly. All right. So me and Max are both smashing the over on the Baltimore Ravens. We'll see how that works out. Okay, let's go to the second team, the Cleveland Browns, who had an amazing fucking year last year. Cinderella story. Everything but a Super Bowl ended in it. Kevin Stefanski, head coach. Offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey, after getting fired from the Buffalo Bills, is coming to Cleveland. And DC, Jim Schwartz coming back for another year. Their over-under is 8.5 wins. Let's go over some of their ads that they did. They added Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver from the Denver Broncos, Jameis Winston, quarterback, and linebacker Jordan Hicks, former Eagle. All right, let's go over some of their losses now. Joe Flacco, the guy who brought him to the fucking promised land as far as fucking playoffs go, and was really fucking good for them. He's not there no more. Anthony Walker, linebacker, pretty solid linebacker coming into Cleveland, and running back Kareem Hunt coming back, or
could come back.
Yeah,
could come back.
Yeah,
he's
come
free
back.
agent still.
Yeah, but right now a loss. Okay, so Kareem Hunt not on the roster anymore. Max, my thoughts on the Browns. It's all about Deshaun Watson. All about Deshaun Watson. So many things ride on this season, okay? Last year, and even a little bit of the year before that, it's always been like, he was suspended. He hasn't played in a long time.
He's
hurt. Some type of excuse, bro. And I think it's time for the excuses to fucking vanish, because he's going to have a full off season. He's going to have some weapons. And to top it all off, he has a great defense, probably has the capability to be the best defense in the NFL. He has some good.
He's 29. He'll be 29. So that's
time is now. Time is now. Look, and then the elephant in the room, the contract. He has the most guaranteed money of all time for a NFL player. So a
Shout
lot
out to
of
that
lot of
agency.
lot of pressure on Deshaun Watson, and the question is he gonna deliver this year? And if he does, what does that look like to you?
I think the final form of Deshaun Watson is no longer there. I don't think he can be a top 5 quarterback anymore, but hey, I think he could be a top 10. That's what it looks like. It's a top 10. It's a guy who makes big plays, leadership quality. Look, all the off the field stuff is there. It's documented. We know he could be perceived as a dick, whatever. I don't know the guy on the football field. One, he has been a shell of himself, and like you said, a lot of reasons, injuries, blah blah blah, just suspension. It's not crunch time. Time to shit or get off the pot. I just feel like we're gonna get more of the same. I don't really feel like I can be like, oh yeah, it's Deshaun Watson. He's gonna figure it out. I don't think so. Doesn't matter if they trade for Ayuk. I think Deshaun Watson is who he is right now. That year away hurt him. Then couple that with injury and just inconsistency, it's over. It's over. This is who he is. I don't think we're going to get a resurgence. That's my opinion. Doesn't mean they won't be good because that defense is real. Defense is really good. Could take another leap if they just get a little bit more from a couple guys like a Greg Newsome. Who's the other corner they have?
Denzel Ward.
No, the other one. Denzel Ward's good too. The one on the outside.
Oh my God, Emerson.
Yes, Mario Emerson. Thank you very much, bro. Greg Newsome's not bad. I don't know why people don't like him. Pretty good corner.
Yeah.
But let me hear what you think about Deshaun.
Look, I'm kind of riding with you, bro. I do agree with you. I think we've seen the best of Deshaun Watson, but that doesn't mean that they can possibly win a Super Bowl with him. But the recipe's kind of weird with this team because
Bro, he just has to be a little bit Joe Flacco plus, and he could.
But that's
do it.
that's the thing though. That's the thing. What? Try to remember back because I know it's been a while since we seen the Browns, and take you back to that time when they were winning these games and take the defense out of it. What they were doing on offense. What was it, Max? It was big
Run the
plays.
ball.
No, it was big plays.
No, it was run the ball, play action, take a big play. He hit a deep crosser.
Okay, but
That's what they were doing.
They were down the field though with Joe Flacco. He was slinging it. And my whole thing,
and we haven't talked about. There's no Nick Chubb, or when he comes back, what is he? He could be done.
That's true.
It's a horrific knee injury. Poor guy. 2 of them now in his career. Not fair at all. But hey, it's a big possibility. And what if Jameis Winston comes in? He's more of the same shit. Like, oh, one good game, one bad game, bad game, good game. That's all he's gonna be. And it's kind of hard to predict you to be a good team when you're inconsistent at the most important position.
Yeah. And my whole thing is like, I don't know how that looks. The old Deshaun Watson that we've seen in Houston could sling it. I remember he used to throw the ball down the field. Kenny Steals, guys like that. Will Fuller.
Will Fuller, yeah.
Yeah, Will Fuller. I don't know why I said Kenny Steals. Kenny Steals wasn't all that good for them. But Will Fuller throwing the ball downfield and getting chunks at a time. And that's what Joe Flacco did. He stretched the field off play action and he was throwing fucking bombs. So that's the recipe for them winning. They need that from Deshaun. And I don't know if he can deliver that because it can't be a situation, Max, where the recipe of winning that we've seen with them is like, oh, dink and dunk. We'll let our defense win and, we'll just run the football. No, their offense, they take shots down the field.
Correct.
And they have playmakers to do it. They got Amari Cooper. Like, as much as you kind of watered on him, he's still a really good wide receiver and he can stretch the field. Okay. But I'm scared when it comes to Deshaun Watson and how that looks. I got to see it. And as far as like what we've seen with him, it's just always seemed discombobulated with him. It seemed like they would win in the fucking ugliest way fashion. And he would 100% not be the reason why they won.
Correct. Yeah, I don't think you could even find a game where you're like, wow, that looked remotely. Maybe like one game in 2 years.
It would be like a quarter. It would be a quarter a game that you will see.
So you're going
Deshaun.
under, I'm guessing.
It's 8.5, I said.
8.5.
Oh my God.
I'm going over.
I gotta go over too. I think they can win 9 games. That defense is just fucking ferocious. Myles Garrett is in his prime. Like this is the best he's gonna be. I think he has this year and probably another 2 years, maybe, to be at this level before he falls off by any fucking means necessary. I love JOK. I
He
love
could have a leap from him.
Yeah, I
Real
love
talk.
the safeties that they have. The defense as a whole.
Delpit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Delpit. It's really good. It's a really good unit. And
Ward is so underrated. Denzel
yeah,
Ward's so
and
underrated.
they have guys that a lot of people just don't know about. Miles Garrett gets the most credit on their defense, but they just have a lot of unsung guys, and even their backups, like they play with fucking like a different edge. Like
Dude,
Mo
Zadarius
Hurst.
Smith was so freaking good for them.
Yeah, Darius
He
Smith
was
as
so
well.
he's still there yet. Shelby Harris is gonna be good.
Yeah,
Dalvin Tomlinson. Devin Bush. I could see a bounce back from him.
yeah,
Real talk.
yeah.
Really.
Just being in the right place, finally in his career. Maybe Pittsburgh
Yeah.
just wasn't the place. But I'm gonna go over. Max is smashing the over as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you just brought up Pittsburgh, and I think it's perfect time to go to them,
let's
honestly.
do it. Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin made it to the playoffs last year. Okay?
Never had a losing year.
Never had a losing year.
This isn't gonna be the year either.
Okay, so DC is Terrell Austin. He's coming back. The big news out of Pittsburgh, the new offensive coordinator replacing Matt Canada is Arthur Smith, former head coach from the Atlanta Falcons. We're gonna see what he does. The over under this year is 8.5.
We got you 2 quarterbacks, brother. I don't know what else you're supposed to get them. I don't know. Can a 2 quarterback? This might be a 2 quarterback system. Like this is. If I was gonna bet on seeing it in the NFL, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, both were added. You already talked about they got Patrick Queen. They got a good old lineman, Troy Fontenot out of Washington. They got Zach Frazier, which I like. I do like that one where it's like, hey, they got the kid from Georgia last year, Jones. Let's get another 2 offensive linemen and get this bitch going. Like, it's time. Like, we can't keep having a battle line. Hey, Jalen Warren, and Najee Harris are both good. Warren's better, just my opinion. But let's just start. Who cares about the loss? Kenny Pickett, Deontay Johnson? Who cares? Nobody cares. There's one conversation. Justin Fields or Russ? Justin Fields or Russ or Justin Fields? Fields? Wilson? Fields. Which one? Right?
I'm going
else to talk about.
I'm going Fields. I know Russ didn't play all that bad with Denver last year. I know
he's never gotten an MVP vote. Ever. Could this be the year?
No, this is definitely not the year to get MVP votes. But I would pick Justin Fields. Obviously, they're battling out in camp, and we don't see the day-to-day in training camp and how they're handling with the first team. But I would go Justin Fields. Justin Fields is more dynamic. I think he has a bigger arm than Russ at this point. I'm just picking the more dynamic guy. Now, is your floor a lot lower with Justin Fields? Fuck yeah. I think so.
I don't think that.
I think that. I think the floor is higher with Russ.
I don't think so. I think his dynamic ability gives him a higher floor. Like maybe throwing the passing offense floor is a little lower. Yeah.
That's
but
what
I don't think Russ is capable of making enough big plays anymore. Look, I think both guys could lead this team to about 8 and 9 wins. I really don't think it'll be much different.
So if we're scaling on a 1 to 10, what's Russ?
Like a 6.
And what's Justin Fields?
6.5.
Really? So you think that like closely to them?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like one provides better pocket presence and better throwing and better decision making, and one is like, hey, I can go fucking score a touchdown anytime. That's it.
I don't think so. I think
like, hey, if you have a good old line, start Russ. If the old line's bad, start Fields. That's my opinion. I fucking think you should play both of them.
I don't think so. I think you should pick one guy. I think it should be Justin Fields. Go with the younger guy. I don't understand why they would start a guy like Russ. Maybe the winning got him a lot of leeway. He won a lot in Seattle. He was praised in Seattle. You know,
Okay. No. He was really good in Seattle.
he was really good.
He was really good. That's
Yeah,
not fair to say. Come on.
yeah.
Don't make it seem like he was a product. No, he was really good for a
He
long
was.
time.
He was really good, but now he's not. He hasn't looked. Even his last year in Seattle, it hasn't looked the same, bro. It's been bad ever since the last year in Seattle, and I'm just going with Fields. I've seen some shit from Fields that I fucking love, bro. And hopefully it was an Eberflus thing. It was a coaching thing in Chicago. And maybe he can get a structured with Mike Tomlin, with some weapons around him, like a George Pickens, and do some fucking things in Pittsburgh,
I think
bro.
Arthur Smith will be good for whichever guy. I've always thought Arthur Smith was a good OC. I think the lack of quarterback in Atlanta kind of held the team back. Part of that's on him for not going getting one. But yeah, I think the ceiling for this team is pretty. It's pretty the same for both. I don't. That doesn't make sense, but I think it's just the same for both. I don't feel like, hey, Russ is 7, Fields is 9. I think they're both have their ups and they both have their downs. And to me, this is the year. It's under. It's under 8.5. It's an 8, 9, or
It's gonna happen.
no. It'll be an 8 and 1 year for Mike Tomlin. You heard it here first. I'm going under.
I'm gonna go over. I think they're a really good team, and I want to put like a star under it, because if Justin Fields don't start, I think he can go under. Let Justin Fields
The
start.
defense is really good still. I
It
mean, Alex
is.
Highsmith. We made a video on him, guys. Check it out.
Check it
MJC
out.
Gem, that series. Alex Highsmith, most overlooked pass rusher because he placed a great one. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's the best way to say it. Number 56. He's a dog. Continue on. I'm sorry.
Look, TJ Watt. They got Patrick Queen from Baltimore. Look, their draft class, as much as I didn't agree 1000% with the players that they picked, they still had a really, really good draft.
Good vision. Good vision, too.
And they got this kid named Peyton Wilson out of
NC State. Could be big, bro.
Yeah, look, on the surface, like just looking at him as a prospect, as far as like athleticism, instincts, he is fucking insane. I've been seeing some clips on him from training camp, and he's doing the same shit he did in NC State, like on the backside, fucking tackling behind guys behind the backfield, running like a fucking madman with his hair on fire. Like, he is a energetic ass fucking player. The one issue with him, he has major injury concerns. He's a guy that was hurt in high school, and he was a guy that was hurt in college. So usually those type of guys don't work out. Yeah, it's scary.
Kind of scary.
And some pretty bad injuries. So I really do like their draft class. And they got a couple elite guys. George Pickens is a guy that I've been waiting to come up onto the scene in a really big way. And I really hope that it's been the quarterback's issue with Kenny Pickett and offense coordinator type of thing, because I really do. This kid is a fucking talent, man. And he can have a really big year, like 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns type of big fucking year.
NFL young boy.
NFL young boy, bro. You gotta love the dog in him, bro. He may get suspended a couple games because he fights, but he a dog. He a dog. Okay. So on that thing, on that note, I'm gonna go over Justin Fields, baby, for the quarterback position. I have faith in the Steelers. Now, before we move on, I want to ask you this: what's the number? Is there a number of games that the Steelers lose that Mike Tomlin gets fired?
No, not during the year. Not during the year.
Okay, I know we wouldn't. We're big Tomlin fans. It shouldn't be based on 1 year. Do you think there's a percentage that they will?
No.
Okay.
No, I think Pittsburgh's that type of franchise. I mean, they only have like 4 head coaches or 5.
Because a lot of Steelers, I don't know. I've talked to a couple Steeler fans. I know you know some Steeler fans.
Are they smart?
Debatable, but
and in the words of Bill Belichick, we're on to Cincinnati. That's all I needed to know. And as Bill Belichick used to say, we're on to Cincinnati. All
right, let's go.
We're not going to entertain idiots on this. I'm kidding.
All right. Cincinnati Bengals, who finished last year with a 9-8 record, not bad at all, but injuries derailed their season. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase was kind of banged up, so tough year for them. Zach Taylor coming back. They lost their offensive coordinator in man, I'm forgetting. Zach Taylor. No, not Zach Taylor.
No, he's the head coach of a team.
Yes, Zach
Who is it?
Robinson. No, that's the Rams guy.
No,
Brian Callahan. There you go.
Brian Callahan, Tennessee's coach. Thank you.
Tennessee's
Thank you.
coach.
Sorry.
He is now
I
in
was like,
Tennessee. So they
yeah.
got a new offensive coordinator in Big Dan. All right. DC, Lou Anarumo is coming back. The most underrated defensive coordinator in the league, I feel like. 2024 over under for them is 10.5. So Vegas
That's
knows.
a big number.
I mean,
That
look,
is a big number.
they're ready. It was all injuries last year. That the reason why they went 9-8. Okay, key additions. They got the mammoth of a man in Amarius Mims from Georgia.
And Trent Brown.
Trent Brown, another mammoth. Yeah, Chris Jenkins. Bloodlines run strong in the NFL. This is Chris
really
Jenkins.
Liked him.
Chris Jenkins'
you weren't
son.
the biggest fan. I really liked him.
Yeah,
really liked him.
Bengals losses. Longtime running back Joe Mixon finally gone. He's not in Cincinnati no more. DJ Reader, who's another underrated fucking guy in the league, very, very good. He is gone. Chidobe Awuzie, cornerback, he is also gone, who was a pretty good piece for them on defense, okay? Look, I think the main discussion here is does this team have enough to dethrone the Chiefs? And that answer, I'm going to answer it really quickly. I think it's yes. This team is a Super Bowl contender. I fucking love their roster. I love their coaches. And I think they're ready to fucking rock. Like, I'm going over. Not even second thinking it. I think they're going to win this division. I really like their fucking team a lot, man. What do you think of the Bengals?
I mean, I agree with some of what you said, but some of it's like, hey, it's on paper. We thought they fixed their O-line problems in the past, and they didn't. They have who at tackle right now? They still have Orlando Brown. They have Trent Brown.
And they got Marius Mims.
See, two out of those three can play tackle. You can't have three tackles on the field. I mean, unless you want to kick one inside.
I think Trent Brown has kind of fallen off a little bit.
I agree. I think he's more of a swing. Maybe you play some guard here and there, whatever. I mean, I'm curious to see what they're. I don't know. They could do some shit where Amarius Mims doesn't play this year because they love to do
He's
that
raw.
Shit to their
He's
rookies. Raw. Yeah, Trent Brown, Amarius Mims is the backup. Orlando Brown's playing. Yeah, but that's what they do. The Bengals. They take a good player and they let him sit, and then he becomes really good. We could see a big year from Myles Murphy. Look, they could easily win 10 games. This is where it gets hairy. I don't think they're going to be the number one seed because that division is freaking hell. Yeah. That is I think might be the best division in football.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You're not lying.
No cap, no shots at the AFC West. I mean, NFC East obviously is the best. It's the second best, sorry. But look, I think they're good. 10.5 scary. I'm going to go over. You talked me into it. Do they have enough to compete with the Chiefs and Ravens? I got to see the O-line play. On paper, yes, they do. Joe Burrow can match those two guys, Lamar and Mahomes. But can Joe Burrow not have to run for his fucking life for 1 year of his career? That's all I want to know.
I mean, if he gets any type of fucking protection, I mean, just imagine. We see what he did with no protection.
You know, I will say this. They definitely have some questions at receiver. They lost, what's his name? Tyler Boyd, who was big for them. Jamar's really good. T. Higgins is really good. They got Jermaine Burton from Bama, who I liked. You know that.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be Tyler Boyd's rookie year. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not that big of shoes to fill. Tyler Boyd made big plays in certain spots.
But what I'm saying is you're not going to have that veteran craftiness to get open on third down and find the soft spot. That's what I mean. He could do other things like, hey, he can stretch the field. He can make some big plays. But to count on him, like you said, with Keon Coleman in our last episode, right. It's a big ask.
But
big
at least, at the very least, he's the third receiver. At the very least,
correct. Yeah, correct.
But I get what you're.
We have two studs.
Yeah. Look,
Chase Brown could have a breakout too.
Thank you. Look, I hope none of my league mates are watching this in my fantasy football because I am so fucking high on this guy. Usually, we don't talk about fantasy like aspects on this podcast, but I have to do so. this is my sleeper of the year. It's Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown is going to come onto the scene and have a very, very big year. I seen some stuff from him last year that I felt like he was a better running back than Joe Mixon. Every time this dude touched the ball, it seemed to go 10, 15 yards. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, so he's very versatile. As long as he improves in his pass protection, because I do think that was the main reason why he didn't get on the field as early, um, and took the spot from Joe Mixon because of the pass pro. But I think he's gonna figure that out. He's gonna get better this year at it, and he's gonna be a really, really big fucking weapon for this Bengals offense. And that's just gonna add more fucking headache to other teams to have to deal with. It's like we're gonna stretch the field with Jamar Chase. Oh yeah, and then we got the jump ball guy and T. Higgins. And then oh yeah, we got this fucking little Chase Brown running back who's dynamic as shit. I like to look at him kind of like an Austin Eckler with fucking boosties on him. Like, cause he's a little small stature guy, but he is really fucking talented, bro. I even want to kind of make an MJC original on him just for how much I love him. But fantasy wise, I tell you one thing: if you guys are looking for a underrated guy to draft in fantasy that's gonna go really low, get Chase Brown because I think he's gonna have a really, really big year.
Well, and you sold me on the over, and I think this division is going to be a buzzsaw. And maybe the one team's going to be really bad, like one team we don't expect. Like, hey, injury to Lamar, Ravens are already out. But if everyone's healthy, I could see 4 playoff teams.
And I think this is the window as far as the best they're going to be probably I don't think they're going to be as good next year because T. Higgins, I think he's going to leave after this year. Unless they win, like, I don't even think
No,
that.
unless they don't be fucking cheap and pay him.
I don't think they're going to be able to.
I don't think they want to. I mean, they have to pay Jamar, and they're just like, oh, no, we're gonna have 2. So yeah, I don't know. The Bengals are you know how the Bengals are. You know how they are.
Yeah, and then I think Lou Amaruno is going to be like, let me get a fucking head coaching job. I think it's time.
He can leave too.
He can leave, and then all of a sudden, you're not as good. You're not at your top tier strength. You got to pay guys. Guys are leaving. This is the time. We know how quick it is that these windows close in the NFL. So the Bengals got to watch out. They got to take advantage of the great quarterback that they have right now and the weapons that they have under the certain contracts that they have. All right, Bengals all the way. On a side note, Max, I don't think I've told you this yet, but that's the road game I'm going to this year. I already bought my plane tickets. I bought my tickets to the game.
Are you going to Cincinnati?
I'm going to Cincinnati, so I might.
What week?
It's week. I don't know exactly what week. I think it's like week 13 or 14.
Oh my god,
it's
you're an idiot.
It's in November.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
It's early November.
Have fun being cold.
It's motherfucker. I went to Kansas City and Denver. Okay.
No video proof of that exists.
I do got pictures though, so I got proof. So
Raiders,
ain't no cold gonna
Bengals.
fucking bother me. I ain't no baby like Max dealing with cold. All right. I rather
November 3rd. Oh, first week of November. There ain't no week 13, bro. You don't even.
What is it? What week is it? What week is it?
Let me look.
It might be 13, asshole. Fuck you.
It's not. It's
probably like week 10 or 9.
Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Full team schedule. Here we go. Okay. Here's preseason. Week 9. Wow.
I was 4 weeks off. A little bad. A little bad, but all right.
That's a month, asshole.
So week 9, I'm going to be traveling to Cincinnati for the Raider games against the Bengals. Hopefully, I don't watch a massacre, but I'm super excited to watch that team live. I can't wait to watch Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. I'm big fans of all those guys. I'm really excited to see the Bengals, bro. But me and Max smashing the over on the Cincinnati Bengals. So that brings us to the last segment of the podcast, where we rank all 4 teams in order and where they're going to finish at the end of next year. Max, you can go first. 1 to 4. What are you doing?
Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Blitzburg.
That's tough, my guy. Look, I'm going number 1, Cincinnati. I'm going number 2, Baltimore. 3, Brownies. 4, Steelers. That's what I'm going to go. And I think all 3 teams make the playoffs. Or 3 out of the 4 teams make the playoffs. I think the Browns, Bengals, and Ravens all make it. Just like last year, 3 teams out of this division make it to the playoffs. It's that talented, man. It's that
It
stacked.
is. It's that tough.
Yeah, this is a fucking bloodbath, bro. I would not
Shout
want to
out
be
to
in this
Brandon
one.
Ayuk. We're gonna have to retape one of these when he gets fucking
Yeah,
traded, but I'm down.
yeah. In advance, fuck you, Brandon Ayuk, for having to make us fucking work and record. So, hopefully, if anything, if he goes to the Steelers, Max, how much would that make a difference? Like, you think that makes a
Not
big difference?
much.
It's something to talk
Not
about
much.
if it does
It's yeah,
happen, but
it'll help. It's not gonna. I mean, it depends. If Pickens is gone, it's kind of like, well,
yeah, because the 2 teams that are in the runnings for him, if you guys don't know, it's the Browns and the Steelers. They were in the mix. Reports are changing every day, so who knows by the time this comes out where the reports are. But I don't feel like the Browns and the Steelers, them getting Brandon Ayuk, takes them over the hump as far as like, holy shit, now they're Super Bowl contenders. That's the
correct,
least of their
correct.
worries. Like we said with the Browns. The biggest concern with the Browns and the biggest headline is Deshaun Watson. So if Deshaun Watson is not good, it doesn't matter who the fuck you have at receiver.
And the Steelers, it's the same thing. It's just Justin Fields or Russ. Same
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah, same exact thing. All right, I think that's going to do it, guys. We appreciate you guys rocking with us. If you guys love content like this, please subscribe to the channel, like this video. It helps out a lot, man. Comment down below any thoughts that you guys have about the AFC North. We do football content like this, podcast format. Also, we do MJC Originals, where it's a little bit more shorter version of football talk. We like to do film breakdown in it. And recently, we just did some MJC Gems. Speaking of MJC Gems, it's one of these players, like Max mentioned earlier in the podcast, Alex Highsmith. If you guys are a Pittsburgh fan and watching this podcast, go ahead and check out that Alex Highsmith video, bro. You guys would really enjoy it. It's just a guy that's super underrated, underappreciated in the NFL, and we shine light on a guy like him, okay? So really great video. Check that out. Until next time, I'm out. Max is out. Peace.